3 easy steps to start cold calling for wholesaling. Guys, it's Rick Ginn, and today in this video, I'm going to show you how to get started in wholesaling and how to simplify the process so you can actually take action and stop being overwhelmed with all this information out there. But before I get into it, do me a favor, make sure you smash that like button, you hit that subscribe button so you continue to receive the most up-to-date information on wholesaling today. So cold calling. Everybody knows cold calling is the fastest and most efficient way to connect with motivated sellers to get your wholesale deals done. And honestly, it is the absolute most efficient way for those of you that are utilizing virtual wholesaling. And you got to be crazy not to do cold calling. The problem with most of you is you have to make a clear-cut, decisive decision you're going to do it. You can't dabble in it. You can't think about it. You got to stop talking to everybody about it over the net. You and only you have to make the clear-cut decision to do it. So if you've made the decision and you know it's the right choice for you, now you have to have practical steps to put it in motion without complex courses on this. I mean, there's $4,000 to $5,000 to $10,000 courses that teach you cold calling. Guys, that's insanity, and I'm here to fix it for you. So let's walk through the 3 steps and get you started so you can get on that phone today to start cold calling. So step number 1 is simple. You have to pick your market. Now, the beauty of cold calling is you can do it anywhere. I always tell you, consider your local market first. Why? You're most familiar with it. You'll easily be able to do the comps, and you know which areas that you want to invest in. So always consider your local market first. But if those of you are looking to do virtual markets, which cold calling is perfect for it, you got to analyze some basic data for you to pick out the correct market. So the first thing I'm going to look is I'm going to stay away from rural areas, and I'm going to pick places with higher populations, with the exception of major metropolitan areas like San Francisco, Miami, New York City. You kind of get the picture here. Is there's some markets that the price points are so high that you definitely want to avoid because it's going to be very difficult to do wholesale deals as a new beginner. So my recommendation is find a population with at least 100,000 or more. If you have a small population, it's very hard to wholesale because there's only so many cash buyers that are going to be interested in your deals. So the next one is going to be your average price points. I recommend you stay well below 300,000, and a lot of you are going to look below 250 and 225. Why? Because those are the lowest entry point houses, and they're going to have the most of demand. And most of those sellers are the ones that are going to have the most problem. It's just the truth. So you want to go where the deals are. So make sure you look at the average price point. You can use Trulia, you can use Zillow, you can use Realtor.com. All these services are 100% free. The next thing you want to look at is what is the activity level in that area. So if you have an account with listrei.com, is what we recommend, it can give you the amount of cash buyers in that area. Or you can pull up your local realtor's report, but keep in mind it's going to be 3 months behind. How do you do that? You just look up your realtor board for the area you're looking to do, and they usually put their online stats, and you can find out the percentage of cash transactions for that area for the year, the quarter, or like whatever area you want to break it down. Just keep in mind it is 3 months behind. And the last thing is, if you have any familiarity with your virtual marketing, like say you went to school there, maybe you grew up there, maybe you have a friend there, maybe you have family there, that is going to help you out, because sometimes you got to get some boots on the ground. And if you have some familiarity with the area, it's really helpful when you do virtual wholesaling. So that moves us on to step number 2. Guys, this is your $4,000 cold calling course. I'm telling you, I've taken every course out there. This is actually better than most of the material you're going to get, and you can sum it up in probably less than 15 minutes. The next one is you have to become a list ninja. What does that mean? Is you got to find a way to formulate lists and become really good at it, because the quality of your cold calling is going to be dictated by the high quality of your list. So I always say start with the places that you're going to have the highest success rate. So I personally love government lists. Why? Because wherever there's smoke, there's fire. If someone's on a code violation, meaning their roof is exposed or anything like that, there's usually a reason for it. That's a perfect person to reach out on a cold call. And if you can do it over and over again, the numbers are going to stack up in your favor. But it doesn't start with code violations. You got tax delinquencies. You got fire damaged properties. You got water shutoffs. They're endless. If you guys want to learn more about these lists, go over to freewholesaling.com. We have the entire database of these lists. And the really cool part is they're 100% free and they work. Don't let a guru tell you otherwise. These lists are gold, and it's where I found a majority of my deals when I started out wholesaling, and I still, 20 years later, those are the lists I rely on heavily. The next list I'm going to attack are like FSBOs, and that's just an acronym for sale by owners. You can go to Zillow, you can go to a million sites online to get FSBOs. Now, here's the good news is you don't have to skip trace them. The numbers are 100% free, and all these people want to sell. The problem is a lot of their motivation is not there, and it's going to be a high quantity numbers game. Once again, that's why cold calling is perfect for this technique. You got to get through a lot of quantity, and I'll teach you what to stay in the next step. And then if you have a chance to pull expired listings, if you either get it online, you can go to listrei.com and get that information, or maybe you pair up with a realtor and get that information, because those are properties that didn't sell for one reason or the other. Maybe the price was too high, maybe the repairs are too much. It's probably a combo of both, but as time and circumstance change, those people are going to be more open to a cash offer from a wholesaler. Guys, these are all the lists you have to attack. Guys, you can play around with the filters on these. It's like, I want you to become a list ninja because the outcome of your cold calling success is majorly going to rely on the quality of your list. Don't overlook this step. So step number 3 comes down to the actual cold call script. And this is where most people get it wrong. You guys think you have to go get this complicated script and you got to go through all this special training. I'm here to tell you, you don't. You have to simplify this process, and I want to walk you through how it works. Remember, the more conversations you have, the better your chance of success in cold calling. Listen, in the beginning, you're not going to be very good at it. So your best recipe for success is practice. How do you practice? Find a friend, find a family member, and just let them drill you and cold call them and let them beat you up. I'd rather them beat you up than have customers on good lists, like government list or any type of paid list you have. You cannot practice on those people. So the sooner you can learn the techniques to overcome people's objections, the better off you're going to do. So number 1 is throw away your scripts, guys. Scripts are mechanical, they're fake, and they're the farthest thing from authenticity your sellers ever want to hear. The minute I hear someone on a script, I'm done with you. It doesn't even matter what you're doing, because you're running me over like a number. You're not treating me like a person. And I don't think you care what happens to me. So when we cold call, we have to understand is a lot of you go, oh, I've got to qualify. I've got to qualify. It's actually the opposite. You're going to disqualify more people than you qualify. And if you understand that up front, you know how to attack cold calling. See, a lot of you get frustrated and understand, like, Rick, I called 100 people and 95 told me to take a hike. That's the reality of cold calling. And if you understand that up front, you understand you have to disqualify to get to the people you need to qualify. So cold calling is like a mode, and you have to, so if I'm calling 300 people, I need to get rid of all the people that don't want to do business with me. And then I need to find that group of people that I can qualify. But remember, I'm cold calling. So I'm going to go through and disqualify. So here's what I'm going to do is let's get to the script. Remember, I told you, throw the script out. You only have to memorize 2 basic lines for cold calling. Any type of script is going to throw you off. So here's how it goes. Hi there, Mr. Seller. Are you the owner of the 123 USA Street property? Don't answer it. Let them answer it. I don't care how silent it gets. Well, yes, I am. Who is this calling? Hey, my name is Rick. I want to know if you had interest in selling that property, and just leave it open. That is your disqualifying process. If the answer is no, and it's a hard no, move on. Do not spend time. If you sit there and try to force 300 people to sell your property, you will get killed in cold calling. So if I'm going to call 100 people, I understand probably 90 of them are going to blow me off. So treat it like I'm going through the disqualifying process so I can find the qualified ones. Now, if they say yes, then you can move into the qualifying sector. Now, how do I qualify? Remember, at this point, I don't want you to close them at all. You're just going to qualify them. So you're going to walk through the techniques we teach over at freewholesaling.com. And your qualifying is going to be the MCTP, motivation, condition, timeline, and price. Go over to freewholesaling.com. We teach you how to do that in detail. But remember, cold calling is a process of elimination to mechanically get through. If you're going to do 100 phone calls, probably 90 to 95 are going to just say absolutely no. If you're prepared for it and you have the mindset for it and you disqualify them, Now you can find the ones that want to talk to you and work with you. And now you can take time to spend with those people. So many guys go these complicated scripts and you try to make people to sell their properties to you. Wholesaling doesn't work that way. Either you're helping them solve a problem or you're not. You've got to find the level of motivation to get there. Get rid of the tire kickers, the ones that don't want to hear from you. Get rid of them. And now once you get through the cold calling, now you can be your normal wholesaler. Remember, you're not closing them. You're just qualifying them at this point. Get the information. Now you can spend time with them. You can correspond with them with text, email, phone's always the best, and then convert it over to the person. Remember, while you're cold calling, the goal is to get through as many phone calls as humanly possible. That's why they call it prospecting. So if I'm going to call 200 people and I can get 8 or 10 people to work with, that is the goal in cold calling. It is not to do everything under the sun, perfect scripts, perfect conversations, find a way to write a deal. It doesn't work with that. You want to get in cold calling mode and you want to get through it as quickly as possible so you can work with those sellers to create win-win situations. So guys, are you going to take my $4,000 cold calling course? I just gave it away for free for you. I'm telling you, man, been doing this a long time. You guys overcomplicate cold calling. You just got to do it. You got to make that decision. You got to go through the 3 steps, and then you got to move on to the qualifying process once you find those people and spend time with them and put an offer that creates a win-win situation. So guys, let me know in the comments, are you treating cold calling with these 3 simple steps? And if not, what's keeping you from doing it? Let me know in the comments. So guys, if you like this information, make sure you smash that like button. You hit that subscribe button to continue to receive the best information on wholesaling today. Guys, this is Rick Ginn, and I'll see you in the next video. Thanks.